Welcome, my name is Shawn Lee. I'm joined by Sharman Harden, and we are from Bedrock Bowling Outfitters, 2 locations to serve you. Today, I am going to teach all of our bowling world out there, the novices that actually don't even own a bowling ball, that come in and want to knock down a few extra pins, how to actually look a little bit more like a bowler. Today, I'd love to show you a basic 4-step approach. We have Sharman here, she's going to help us out in showing us proper ball placement, even showing you the proper bowling ball to pick off of the rack when you don't own a bowling ball, to ensure that you've got the right amount of grip pressure, to ensure that the hole sizes fit your hand properly, so on and so forth. So if you don't mind, we'll get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be the bowler's starting position. Now, bowling is an athletic sport, just like anything else. And one thing that's important in our sport is that we really want to focus in on using our legs. And what we're going to do with Sharman today is show you her basic starting position that gives you in a good athletic position to start. It gives you a good solid position to have great balance at the foul line. So Sharman, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and get your left foot on 20 for me if you don't mind. What we're going to do is we're going to have Sharman actually get into what we call a staggered position. Years ago, we had different teaching methods. Today, our game's evolved. We've got different lane conditions. We've got different types of bowling equipment. And for those different types of conditions, we've adapted and we've learned different styles based off of what the United States Bowling Congress has taught us in our coaching classes. So Sharman's going to show us our staggered technique. What we're going to do is have the ball of our opposite foot on the inseam of our slide foot, and we're going to distribute the weight of our body between our toes and our heels. And when we do that, we definitely want to ensure that we've got a slight amount of knee bend on both legs, so that the weight distribution isn't on her back heels and it's not on her front toes, but she's got a great solid base to stand on. And that's going to be that great starting position. From there, we like to make sure that the spine and the hips and everything of her body is in line with the proper alignment with the knees, both legs slightly bent. We want to have the spine tilted forward slightly to get her in a good starting position. And one thing to remember here is that your starting position is going to be your ending position. We want to keep the upper body what we call very quiet, minimal movement. I'm going to go ahead and grab the bowling ball and put the ball in Sharman's hand. And what we've done is we've actually grabbed a conventional ball off the rack, as the bowlers at home would that don't actually own a bowling ball. So let me go ahead and grab that for you. When using that bowling ball, we definitely want to ensure that we put the fingers in first and the thumb in last for a proper fit. Sharman, go ahead and put the hand in the ball. Awesome. Now, what's really important is actually holding the bowling ball properly. Our starting position should be a comfortable position. We definitely should not feel unbalanced. We shouldn't feel any pains, any awkwardness. We definitely want to have a good, comfortable starting position so we can have a good finish position at the foul line. What we'd like to see is the majority of the bowling ball weight in the non-bowling hand. Sharman's right-handed. We want to see the majority of the weight in that left hand. What you notice here as well is we'd like to see the bowling ball inside of the dominant eye, dominant shoulder, right inside the shoulder line here. What we find is if the bowling ball is too far outside of that shoulder, then sometimes it can cause the bowler to wrap the ball behind their hip. Vice versa, doing the same thing if the ball is too far in front of the chest. So right in line, and you'll notice that she's got her shoulders and her hips slightly open, so that way her chest area and her target lines are always going to be at her break point down lane. This is going to be that great starting position that she's going to have. So now that we've talked about the bowler starting position and how to properly hold the ball so we have a good, comfortable starting position, we want to talk about what we call ratios in our approach. And taking the 4-step approach, there's obviously some rules that we want to stick to and some things that are going to ensure that you have great timing at the foul line. What I'd like to show you first is in that 4-step approach, what's important, Charlie, go ahead and get that right foot up for me a little bit. And she's got the good, solid position to start. What's really important in that 4-step approach is that we kind of look at it as like a locomotive. We want things to be fluid. We want the body to flow together towards the foul line to ensure that we're actually attacking the target. We're attacking the foul line. First thing we're going to see here is that when we move the right foot, go ahead and take your first step. We want that right arm to go with the first step. Go ahead and come back on that. Awesome. Well, and what you're noticing here is that the right arm and the right foot is actually going to go together at the same time. No movement with the upper body. The upper body is going to stay solid because we've got the great starting position. So that would be a ratio of 1 to 1. The thing that's going to happen next is Charmin's going to go ahead and take her second step. You'll notice that the ball is going to fall on the second step to ensure that we have the good timing at the foul line. What a lot of times we'll notice in bowling is we'll see that the ball is still slightly in front on the second step, or maybe sometimes a little bit too far behind in our swings, which makes us a little bit too far ahead of the ball. You definitely want to be down on that second step. The next thing that's going to happen is we're going to walk right by the ball on the third step. The bowling ball is actually going to swing back on its own. Go ahead and take your third step. So the ball is going to go back into her swing. Now here's what we want to make sure that we see the adjustments. You'll notice that the hips raised up a little bit for Charmin. What's important is to keep the hips down and keep the upper body slightly forward, so that way we stay in a position where we're ready to attack the lane. And finally, you'll notice that the fourth and final step in the bowling ball will be ready to swing through to the foul line at the same time together to ensure a good proper finish position. Now, obviously, we're ending a little bit further back on the approach. When we go through this more fast motion, Charmin will actually get a little bit closer to the approach when she has the ball in her hand. So let's go ahead and recap that ratio, that four-step approach to ensure the good timing. So we're going to be out on 1. Awesome. Down on 2. Back on 3. And sliding through on 4. Very good. And that's going to be that great starting position that we're going to want in coming in and becoming a better bowler. What we're going to do now is going to go ahead and have Charmin go ahead and put the ball in her hand. So as we notice, the good starting position, the legs slightly bent. We've got the feet staggered, so she's in attack mode. Head and eyes are focused on her target line the entire time. We're going to go ahead and watch Charmin throw a shot here. Not bad, not bad at all. Now, what you notice there with that conventional fit, a lot of times it's really tough to find a conventional fit that's going to fit your hand properly. You notice that that ball may have flew off her hand a little bit quick because it's a conventional fit ball. It's not fit for her hand. Always advise coming in and getting a custom fit ball. Even if you're going to bowl once a year, having a bowling ball that fits your hand properly will ensure a proper pin carry, will ensure that the ball hangs on to you and lets go of you at the proper time as well. Thank you for chiming in at this basic four-step approach. From Bedrock Bowling Outfitters, we'll see you next time. Hey guys, welcome back to CarlSports.tv and Bedrock Bowling Outfitters. On this installment, we'd like to talk a little bit about the finish position. You know, when I was growing up as a bowler on TV, you watched all the greats. You know, one thing they had was an awesome finish position. And I find that with an awesome finish position, you have balance, you have leverage, you have a better release, you can see your target. Heck, you can even see what your ball is doing down the lane. So we've got Charmin back here with us, and she's going to demonstrate a good finish position of how we should feel as we're releasing the ball. Now, what's really important, go ahead and get in that position for us, Charmin. The first thing that you notice with Charmin's finish position is that the spine is tilted 45 degrees forward. Because again, we want the energy of her body going into the lane. You also notice that the trail leg is behind her. It's cleared what we call the bowling slot. You also notice she has got the majority of her body weight on her front toe. Okay, this is actually a drill that you guys can do at home with the bowling ball as well to actually help work on your finish position. The one thing that we want to look for as Charmin's releasing this ball is that we don't have any head movement, we don't have any body movement. We're just going to let this ball hinge out in front of us, swing back and swing freely, and watch Charmin release the ball nice and smooth. Go ahead and give it a shot. Great finish position. As we noticed that bowling ball, the body didn't move, now she can focus on her target and really see what the ball's doing. If you guys can focus in on this one little simple thing, I guarantee you it'll help your accuracy and it'll help your pin carry. Thanks again.